Welcome to the Morning Buzz.
It started off as more of a podcast type of deal, where we would just kind of come on and it would be, on video and live, but we would be discussing different topics, sports, current events, what's going on around Leavitt, stuff like that. And then it kind of, blew up into this, let's try to produce a show.
Isaiah, I'll ask you this question. How has this show evolved as more social distancing regulations come out?
The first one we did was actually a speech from Eben that we recorded, kind of like a State of the Union address, but for the school.
We're reaching out this morning to provide some updated information about our current school closure.
Every day we've kind of focused more on the 6 feet thing, and we've talked about starting tomorrow, having less people there and doing it. And we've also been figuring out how to use this technology. We're going to try to get teachers to record little segments that we can clip in instead of having live interviews.
Evan, I'll ask you this then. How has this this is a big change for the way you guys do things and interact with kids. How is information coming into you and how are you piecing it together?
So it's been like a seismic shift on how we do school, and it took like 48 hours for it to happen. So it's been a very high learning curve, but all of our information basically at this point is coming in through email and Zoom meetings or Google Meets, and we're doing our best to disseminate it either, again, via email or post on the website. And we seem to be hitting the vast majority of our community that way.
How has learning been moving forward for the students at Leavitt?
We had previously actually started that conversation about, at this point, it's probably 3 weeks ago, about how it might look to do some distance learning. And through those conversations, we're not looking necessarily to break new ground, but to keep students engaged academically and socially to the best of our ability while doing it in a safe way.
A lot of teachers in my department had already been using Google Classroom. So that's kind of the prime mode of getting information out to students and assigning things. I think the trick for a lot of the teachers is we're having to upload everything now through Google Classroom, whereas before it was just a smaller component of classes we already taught. So learning how to put text readings up there and getting a little creative with making some videos.
Isaiah, are kids able to interact with you through this?
Oh, absolutely. And I've talked to a lot of teachers, so when we put things up on Google Classroom, you can tell some students are in there asking you, making comments within minutes of putting anything up. And so that's cool, but then we were looking at a way we can make more of that contact. So the learning part's going to be tough, but through the Buzz Media, hopefully there's more interaction. We get the chat going every morning. And then we're launching a blog today. This week is normally Arts Gala week at the school, where kids come in and they have art and it's hanging up all over the school. We have artists. So what we're asking them to do is submit the art that they've made. And that way, again, you can interact with the art, you can see what other people are doing and not feel so socially isolated.
Mike, through this morning show, what's the main goal here? Is it, I'm sure there are two main goals, keeping kids informed and sort of keeping their spirits up, but what are you guys really hoping out of this?
Well, I think we all need something to look forward to on a daily basis. And typically that connection for us, that those of us that teach our students, is through school. So giving them something, through the school that they're a little bit familiar with and seeing some familiar faces. And we've had different guests on the show, different teachers and people around the building, just kind of giving them that daily connection and something to look forward to. And at the same time, it's been good to put out some information. Sometimes kids are more likely to watch a show than they are to check their email every day. So it's been good for that.
Evan, kind of stemming off of that, what's been your main goal through this?
There's so much out there that people have anxiety and stress over. To see people that students normally see teaching class throwing carabiners into shoe holders, if we can keep it light while at the same time keeping them engaged with school, I think we're meeting our two big goals.
Oh,